Hello.
Well, hello.
You join us on our first night of our 18-night holiday.
You do indeed. But in order to see where we are, we first need to see how we got here. So let's go back to us from a few days ago when we got the van ready for this epic trip, and then we'll tell you more about it.
I just want everything.
Yes, boss.
Right. Most of the fan's not going with us, is
No, we don't need to take that. Well, it's going to be cold probably, but we'll risk it. Right, so this is the side that we access all the time, because obviously we've got the doors to get into it. Things that have to go in there are our shorter hook-up lead, the ramps, the grip mats, shoes and stuff like that, aren't they? So this side here is the one that's the most pain in the arse to get to, because there's no drawer front on it. Yeah, so we want to use that to store stuff that we very rarely use. We did have that in the underfloor one there, but that's easier to get to, so we're going to put stuff in there that we rarely use.
I've already found a place for the toolbox.
That's the emergency toolbox with spanners and screwdrivers and just in cases, which we haven't used, other than maybe for a screwdriver if I got told off for using one of the kitchen knives. Apparently they're not electrically isolated or something, but I've never died yet. Anyway, that's what we're doing. Right, so we think that is the rarely used cupboard now. Just got to remember what's in it. Right, so we're still not sure about the underfloor storage, but what we have done is put things in here that we use occasionally that were either in here or in another cupboard to free up some space. So the green shoes and the bag is what Heather uses when she's on the bike. The flip-flops we've put in because one of the campsites that we're going to is right on a beach, so we figured we might need flip-flops. This usually lives in a cupboard above the front driver's seat. We want to free that cupboard up, so it's just our little bits of electrical wires that we use occasionally. We'll just see. It's a work in progress once you've started moving things around. Right, I think that's it for the boot, other than we have to put the water in and clothes and stuff. Get in the noisy cupboard. It is very rare I go in the noisy cupboard. Oils on the dash to check there is no dipstick on these vans. So I'm just going to put some screen wash in, which is in a stupid place, but it's there. The water level's maximum. Brake fluid's all good. There's not a lot else I can check under here. Might get a cloth though. It doesn't get cleaned very often. You can see the supervisor. You alright there, Pop? AdBlue time. I think I'll leave it at that. Tyre pressures. I run them about 64 on the rear during the winter because there's no weight in the back at all. I am going to up it because we're going to be fully loaded most of the time and have a lot of water on all the time and a full tank of diesel, so we will be pretty heavy on the way up. So I'm going to stick, I think, 70 in the rears. So while we're doing the tyres, the supervisor is casting her eye over Heather to make sure she's doing the interior correctly. Poppy says you are. Right, okay. We're just doing all the toiletries. Right. That pressure gauge says 70. That says 70, 71 ish. The tyres say they'll take up to 80, so I'm not worried about that. 70 is good enough for me. Right, I've put 66 in the front and 70 in the rear. As I said, there is no science involved. I just know how the van rides and I'm happy at that. Hoovering supervisor. Here we go, a little bit of add-in. The boot is finished. It's got clothes in now as well as a few bottles of water and drinks and stuff. Lovely. So last part of the puzzle, and it was a puzzle because believe it or not, we've got no photographs of the bikes on the back unless the cover was on, and I couldn't remember which way round they went. So this is partly from me. And that is that. Now back to us at the campsite.
Yes, so we're at Thirsk racecourse with Leeds D.A on a camping and caravanning club rally. But what a journey.
Oh.
We've come up the M1 and then the A1. Actually, once we got onto the A1M, it was actually okay, but coming up past Sheffield and Leeds, and it just kept saying congestion after the next junction, and it's like,
I mean, in fairness,
it hasn't taken too long, but
it is the Thursday before Good Friday.
Yes.
So the traffic was expected to be bad. What normally would have taken us 2.5 hours has taken us 3 hours 40, something like that.
No, 3 hours 10.
3:10, sorry. So a bit of a journey.
We have had worse journeys. I mean, the traffic was moving, wasn't it? Just heavy.
Just heavy traffic. But anyway, we've made it. It is a one-night stopover. It is really just, we broke the journey up really. We've done 130 miles. And tomorrow is a really heavy driving day. To give you a clue, we'll be doing 200 and something miles tomorrow to our first destination where the holiday actually properly starts. So yeah, this is a 4-night DA should you want it, obviously, because you've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Easter Monday being the day you go home, I guess. 15 quid a night for those that are stopping, entertainment all weekend, so that is good for them. There's about 130 vans booked on. It is fully booked. We're just parked at the very end. We've crammed on the end of a row because
right next to the entrance.
Yeah, right next to the entrance. We will be leaving as early as we can get ourselves sorted in the morning and getting some miles under us, just so we can have at least half a day at our site for tomorrow. And then we have got a full day the next day. We've booked 2 nights.
And we've got to go and the special shopping trip.
Oh yeah, special shopping trip. I've got 1 can of beer left from a very special place that I've been saving, and we can only get it in this place that we're going to. So I've saved it specially. I'm going to have that in a minute and that'll be a clue.
Morning.
Hello.
Well, it's 8 a.m.
the
following morning. And we're all ready for the off, and we've got over 200 miles to our next destination.
Yeah, so let's crack on. We'll pick you up on the way.
Moonlick, moonlick. Well, about 7 hours ago and 220 miles ago, we left Thirsk.
Yeah, we haven't been driving for that long.
We headed up the A1M, went across the A66, some beautiful country as you're heading across the A66.
Yeah.
Onto the M6. And then what did we do?
Can you guess?
We went into another country.
You'll have to find out where we are now on the next video, that's all I'll say. However, to take you back to yesterday, mission was successful at Aldi. This was just a bit of a filler video, just to let you know what we were doing, where we were going and how we got there. The holiday itself will start with today, but that'll be the next video.
It was shivering.
Yeah, it's absolutely bloody blowing a gale, and
we forgot to bring our gloves.
we did.
So, right.
But we're on the banks of a loch,
Yes.
is all you need to know.
Yeah.
Find out where and when on the next one.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.